You are going to fail your exams if you're not using spaced repetition. You will fall victim to the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve if you just go over information once and expect to remember it. This is the 2, 3, 5, 7 revision method that will make spaced repetition 10 times easier. My name's Tilly, I got 5 A stars in my A-levels, majority grade 9 to GCSE, and I understand the importance of going over topics and concepts again and again and again, and this framework will really help you formalise the process. Oh, and by the way, I'm posting my top study tips and tricks every single day until your exams roll around. Be sure to follow me so you don't miss out. So the 2, 3, 5, 7 study method essentially says what you should be doing 2, 3, 5 and 7 days after reviewing content or after initially viewing the content. So 2 days after you initially see this content. Let's say you've just learnt it in the class, or if you're revising, you've just reviewed it for the first time. This is particularly important for topics that you really struggle with. So after 2 days is the first time you should be reviewing this information. And bear in mind, in this amount of time, it's in your short-term memory. And you're trying to push it all into the long-term memory using revision. So use some active recall strategies. Use blurting, see what you can remember. Do a deck of flashcards, see what you can remember. Use the likeness system. If you don't know what any of these are, just check the playlist. I've explained all of them. And obviously 2 days is a short period of time after you've initially viewed that information, allowing you to make sure you've understood it and you've not forgotten it. And then this is the key. So 3 days is not 3 days from when you first viewed it. It's 3 days from your first revision. So 5 days after you first viewed it. So you've gone 2 days and then 3 days after that 2 days. Again, utilising active recall strategy. This will essentially help you move that information into your longer term memory and identify any of your weaknesses in understanding. But now because you've reviewed it twice within the space of a week, you can start trying to solidify that understanding. Try and practice paper or other techniques such as the Feynman technique to teach it to somebody else. 5 days after your 3-day revision. So this is now 10 days after you initially covered the content. This is a longer period of time, of course. And then this extended interval ensures that it's in your long-term memory, that you've thoroughly understood things, but you've not just sort of remembered them. Again, I would always start this out with blurting, to write down everything that you can remember about that topic, method, process, whatever it is. And then finally, 7 days. So a week later, you do this again. But you've done lots of revision from now, so I would recommend you're really trying to condense that information. It should be in that long-term memory. You should thoroughly understand. This is a great time to be using the Feynman technique. This is a great time to be using SQ4R, and you should be able to basically condense this information because you thoroughly understand it. To the degree where you could probably teach somebody else, or that you could pretty confidently blurt the topic with no prompts. This is unguided blurting. And the ability to do this is going to be really helpful in that exam. By the way, if you haven't saved this video yet, what are you doing? Be sure to comment to stay on Study Talk and follow for more daily study tips.